Why, hello there again, and happy Saturday. No, it's Friday night. Happy Friday night. Anyway, I've been working on this TR4, and when I got this thing, it was always off, I don't know, 5 kcs or something, really irritating. So it was always off a little bit, and that was really irritating. So I started to figure out how to fix this thing, and I had not touched these radios. I don't know, TR4, 6 months, working hard at work. I just kind of forgot about how to fix these, at least the PTOs. So I removed this PTO, which probably wasn't the smartest thing. I might have scratched this up here too. I'm not sure if I scratched it or somebody else did, probably me, but that's a bummer. Anyway, so to make this thing track correctly, it's a really involved process. I've probably spent 2 hours trying to make this thing track right, and I finally got it right. And let me comment on how you do that. So the first thing I found is there's a detent. So you can see this little detent here. It's right there. Right there is the detent. And this detent will swing around, and this thing is always basically on a spring, and it will hit that detent when it comes around. So this is always riding on the, that peg is always riding on that wheel, and when it hits the detent, that peg will go in and cause, there's always a little rotary nub on this shaft. If I get some light on here, you'll see the nub come along. So there's a nub right there, and that nub will hit that peg when it sinks into the notch on this wheel when it's time to stop the rotation. So you'll see that happen here. Anyway, that gets really screwed up to fix this thing and calibrate it. It's really it's simple, but it's not simple. It's quite nasty, actually. So when I tweak it back here, it'll stop finally, and the little peg will hit on the bottom. So I thought about this, a logical way to fix it, and I finally figured out the first thing you do when these are all whacked out is to get these little stop bars. You can see I put a little line here for a stop line to calibrate with the actual visual on the radio when it's all together. But there's a little line I put there. You can see it right there, little line right there. And that pretty much corresponds with when the panel's put on, the front panel, and the Lexan sliding windows in there. That's kind of where that lines up. So you can see that now when I stop this thing, it perfectly lines up with that little arrow. And that's what I was trying to achieve. I didn't want it to be whacked out and random. So, and if you spin all the way around the other way, it should also stop there, or pretty close. So if it doesn't work like that, your radio is not correct. And we want correct radios. That's a little bit off, but it's close enough. So the first thing I'm going to do then is make sure that that notch, the notch that is in that wheel, that has that peg that slides into it. Okay, where's the peg? Where's the notch? Okay, there's the peg right there. So you want to make sure that, first things first, to get this thing calibrated, you want to make sure that this peg is in the middle of this little trough here. The peg's in the middle of the trough, and that middle of the trough will correspond to 12 o'clock with those double little lines there. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is you spin this thing around and make sure it works on your side. You've seen that work already, but we'll do it again. Make sure it's even. So yeah, so once that works correctly, you're good to go. The next thing you do is you might go to the center of the band here, like to on 140 meters, I don't know, 7.3. I'm using 7.3. So you line up 7.3, and then you get a generator. So here I've been using this little Fieldtech generator here, and you set your generator to 7.3 or so. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, there, 7.3. And this part is really hard. So, and you can really screw this up. You have to then hold the dial at 7.3 exactly with your fingers, and you have to make sure this gear is pulled out. So you put your finger in here and you pull this gear out. So this nylon gear will disengage the PTO and disengage the dial wheel. And so you have to do that, and then you have to hold those steady, and then you have to turn this knob until you hear the beat note of the frequency generator, and then you're good to go. But you can't move these at all. They have to be like they have to be exactly on the teeth as they were, or else this all doesn't work out. And so that's how I found to do this. It's taken me 2 hours at least, maybe 3, of trying to get this thing right. And I almost gave up. I almost thought, you know, I've done these in the past and I've had them work out, but this one, it's just not going to work out. And it finally did. So the other issue is this thing will not track linear. If this cover is off or loose, it will not track linear. So the PTO is calibrated that this cover's on, and however they calibrated, say in 1965 or so, they did a great job. It's incredible calibration, how linear this thing is for a mechanical device. They did it. But this has to be on. The clips down here have to be in where it won't track right. I found that out tonight too. So anyway, let's turn the video on. It's already on. Let's give it a little whirl here. So we'll put our Fieldtech here on 7.3 megahertz and put this guy on some volume here. Whoa. And there's 7.3. Let's see if we can hear it. Yep, so look how dead nuts on it is. 7.3, let's go to 7.0. There's 7.0. Let's head down to 7.0. And you can see our little line I put on this thing that I notched into it. I can't believe how a mechanical device is this accurate. You can see where it's right on the line here. It's amazing. Okay, let's go to 7.5. Bob Drake was amazing. The quality he had in these products. Okay, 7.5. We're gonna dial this thing up there. 7.5. 3547475. It's pretty darn close, so I'm happy to go. So anyway, this radio is finally done as far as the calibration, and it's receiving, it's transmitting somewhat. I feel bad that I scratched up those wheels a bit. See the scratches I put in? I think I did that. I couldn't find out where it's scratched, but geez. I can maybe rub those out, but this thing's working now. It's calibrated. I don't want to take it back apart. So I guess it's going to have scratches. Maybe with the lights in the back you won't see them. I don't know, but I hate wrecking things. When I didn't want to take the PTO out to work in this thing, and I hadn't worked on it so long. I had it kind of mashed up against the rig, and I was trying to turn the wheel to calibrate it, and that was just wrong. So, and I think this thing was mucked with. I don't think this outer washer was here. I think it was on the inside. So that would have made the wheel closer, a lot closer to the frame. So yeah, that washer is the thickness of the washer is probably the clearance that I have here on this thing. So anyway, no, it might not scrape, but that's the story. So anyway, what can this thing pick up now that it's all back together? Let's see what it'll do. So could put an antenna on this thing and see what will happen. Take that wire out. Look for the antenna on the ground here on the floor. Don't have my glasses on. Looking for the antenna. I bet the phone can see it more than I can. And here it is, antenna wire. Put this on the back here and see what we can hear. All right. So I sold off all these Drake radios, and then I caught the Drake bug again. I thought, you know, and this one is so nice. guess I'm not going to sell it off, just keep it. Sometimes I get ham radioed out and I want the stuff all to be gone, but so here's 40 meters. It's got a pretty good noise floor, which is good. So now we should get some signals on here, I hope. Not much going on at all. And ham radios like that. Okay, there's the FT8s running. And they're giving me a good signal, so I'm happy with that. Dependable artificial intelligence robots. And they're at about 7.6 or something. Here's my stop right there. It's not exactly great, but it works. Let's kick on 80 meters here. If I can, there it is. And I'm not sure if it's upper or lower. It's probably upper. Gotta change that to lower. That's the wrong one. It's this one, I think. I'm not doing too good here with these knobs. Come on, change. There it is. Okay, let's see if anything's on 80 meters here. There's usually people yapping on here late at night. Oh, it is midnight. And those guys are usually right about there, so it's good. So, the usual suspects. Anybody else on here? No, it's late. I should go to bed too, which I will do now. It's been a long week. The radios are recreation when I'm burned out on software engineering. These are fun to actually get something done that works quickly. This wasn't very quick. Anyway, that's about it. So, yep, TR4. All calibrated. Pretty happy with it. There's 40 meters again. FT8s again. Alright, that's about it. Time for bed. Turn off the radio, turn off the light, go to bed. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.